Yo, what's up everyone? Linus here, and today we're diving into something truly insane. I built a search engine. Yeah, you heard that right. A full-blown search engine, just like Google, but made by yours truly. Now before you ask, no, it's not going to replace Google yet. But it was an awesome learning experience. I'm talking about peeling back the layers of the internet and seeing the raw power of code. This project pushed my skills to the limit, but the results, totally worth it. Stick around and I'll break down how I did it. Trust me, it's way more interesting than it sounds. We're talking web crawlers, indexing magic, and the secret sauce of search ranking algorithms. By the end of this, you'll have a newfound respect for what Google does every single day. And who knows, maybe you'll be inspired to build your own crazy project too. So you're probably wondering why go through the trouble, why not just use Google? Well, for starters, I'm Linus, and that's just not how we do things around here. Seriously though, curiosity was a big motivator. I've always been fascinated by the internet. How does it work? How does Google find what you're looking for out of billions of web pages? These questions kept me up at night. Building my own search engine seemed like the ultimate way to understand it all. Plus, how cool is it to say you built a search engine from scratch? It's like the ultimate coding challenge, and I don't back down from a challenge. This wasn't about replacing Google. This was about pushing my limits, learning something new, and maybe, just maybe, inspiring some of you to do the same. Alright, let's get into the nitty-gritty. First up, the front end. This is the part you actually see and interact with. I wanted to keep it simple, clean, and kinda familiar, so naturally I took inspiration from the OG itself, Google. Don't worry, I didn't steal any code. I used HTML to build the basic structure of the page, the search bar, the buttons, the whole shebang. Then I sprinkled in some CSS magic to make it look all pretty. We're talking about matching the iconic colors, the font style, the spacing. Okay, maybe it wasn't an exact replica, but it was close enough. The goal was to make it feel familiar, something you'd instantly recognize as a search engine. This part was actually pretty fun. It's like digital arts and crafts. Section 4, backend brawn crawling, indexing, and ranking. Now, for the really juicy stuff, the backend. This is where the real magic happens, the brains of the operation. We're talking about Python, baby. First I had to build a web crawler. This little guy's job is to scour the internet, following links from one page to another, just like a digital spider. It gathers up all the text content it can find. Then comes indexing. Imagine taking all those web pages and organizing them in a massive library. That's what the index does. It stores all the words from those pages along with where they came from. Finally, we have the ranking algorithm. This is where it gets really complex. I use something called TF-IDF, which stands for Term Frequency Inverse Document Frequency. Sounds complicated, right? It basically figures out how important a word is on a page and across the entire internet. This ensures that when you search for something, you get the most relevant results first. And that, my friends, is a very simplified explanation of how search engine magic happens. Section 5, testing time, triumphs and tumbles. Once I had all the pieces in place, it was time for the real test, actually using my Frankenstein's monster of a search engine. I typed in a simple query, hit enter, and held my breath. And guess what? It actually worked. Kind of. Okay, it wasn't perfect. The results were a mixed bag. Some were surprisingly accurate, while others were totally off the mark. There were definitely a few bugs to iron out, and the whole thing was slower than a snail in a Wi-Fi dead zone. But hey, it was a start. Seeing even those janky, sometimes relevant results pop up, felt like a massive win. It proved that all that coding, all those late nights, actually resulted in something that kinda, sorta worked. Section 6, Lessons from the Digital Abyss. This project was a wild ride and I learned a ton along the way. First off, mad respect to the engineers at Google. Building a search engine is hard, like, really hard. I also gained a newfound appreciation for the sheer scale of the internet. It's absolutely mind-boggling how much information is out there, constantly growing and changing. This project was a crash course in humility. It showed me just how much I don't know. But that's the beauty of coding, right? There's always something new to learn, always a new challenge to tackle. So, if you're feeling adventurous, I encourage you to check out the code for yourself. Who knows, maybe you'll find a way to improve it, or maybe it'll inspire you to embark on your own coding quest. Either way, keep exploring, keep learning, and never stop being curious.